Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon.
Are you hearing my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Students, before going to the today's concept, can you give me one or two points what we discussed in the last class?
సార్ ఎగ్జామ్ రాశాం సార్ మర్చిపోయినాం.
Okay, right. So before, in our earlier classes, we discussed certain things regarding ancient Rome civilization. Okay, so within the ancient Roman civilization, we discussed certain things about ancient Rome, particularly its location, geographical location, and various mythological stories
సార్ మీ
behind.
వాయిస్ వినబడట్లేదు.
వాయిస్ వినిపించట్లేదా?
వినిపిస్తుంది సార్ వాయిస్. సార్ వినిపిస్తుంది.
వినిపిస్తుందా?
వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
Yeah, right. Okay. So in the earlier classes, we discussed about ancient Rome, particularly its geographical location and its mythological stories about establishment of city Rome, and also we had a glance over the various tribes. So such things we discussed in the last class, and today we are going to see about the political conditions of these ancient Rome. Okay, so you are well aware that there are many tribes entered in ancient Rome, where particularly about the Latins were the first tribe from the Indo-European group who entered in the central plains of ancient Rome on the northern part of this river Tiber. Okay, so these were the first tribes who entered in the ancient Rome and settled in the central plains of Rome, so that the group of Indo-Europeans called as the Italics who settled in a central plain of ancient Rome, and the better to be called as the central plain of ancient Rome is nothing but the Latvia. Okay, so where these people were settled first, and after that many number of tribes entered. One is the Etruscan people from the Asia Minor, then other peoples like Equations and Gauls, and also Gauls and Equations and Saxons, many other important these important tribes entered in the ancient Rome, and apart from these, okay, so apart from these, many other Samnites also entered, Apennine and Samnites which entered in ancient Rome through the mountains of Apennines, and apart from these, and Olsetians also entered, and Olsetians from the southern part and equations from the east. Okay, such nearly 6 to 7 tribe center. Okay, so among them you see the two important people in the ancient Rome were nothing but these Latins and also the Etruscans. Okay, so Etruscans were somewhat civilized people than the others. These Etruscans people were civilized, and they are dominating over other civilized other tribes who settled in the ancient Rome. And finally, these Etruscan people who had started certain political structure, they started certain administrative setup within the ancient Rome. Okay, so because we had certain things over the Etruscans, okay, so we where these Latins were such a like-minded people who gradually mixed with these Etruscans, and gradually they learned many things from the Etruscan, and finally they were dominated over these Etruscans later. Okay, so but when the in the earlier times only Etruscans were the dominant people, and these Etruscans followed such a government policies and administrative setup in the ancient Roman. Okay, so on the basis of this polity or a political structure or a administrative elements, we can divide it into the whole ancient Roman civilization into the three phases. One is the monarchical form of government, and republic form of government, and Roman Empire. Okay, so up to the Etruscan civilization, Etruscan domination, we called as the monarchical form of government. And after the Etruscans, there are certain modern form of governments we see in the history of ancient Rome. That one we call as the Republican Rome and Roman Republic. And next after
సార్
Roman Republic,
సార్ సార్ కొంచెం తెలుగులో కూడా చెప్పండి సార్.
chapter. Okay, so after Roman Republic, we better to call as the Roman Empire. Okay, so up to Roman Empire, we have to see what the things happen within the political structure of the polity of ancient Rome. Okay, so where I will give you some things first of all, and these things I will give you in order one by one. Okay, so the Latins were not only the people who settled in Italy, and they came to the Etruscans, a civilized people from Asia Minor who settled on the land lying north of the river Tiber. Okay, so around 800 BC. Okay, so in the far south of Italy, the Greeks had established their colonies, and they occupied eastern part of many islands also. Okay, so basically the Etruscans were the first dominated tribe, and they are like a civilized, and as a civilized, they dominating on other barbarian tribes also. Okay, so and from the Etruscan, the simple Latins learned many things like construction of buildings, and various technological aspects also, like the sewerage system and fighting formations in the war. Okay, so the Etruscans were eventually driven out by the Latins in and around 509, and which turned into a republic form of government. Okay, so before going to these things, I have to share my screen, and I will give you the things. First of all, uh,
సార్
ah, స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఒక్క నిమిషం వెయిట్ చేయండి. Students, are you getting my screen?
సార్ చిన్నది ఉంది సార్. సార్ వచ్చింది.
వచ్చిందా? Right. So before this Republic form of government in the ancient Rome, there is a Etruscan rule. Okay, so Etruscan were the civilized tribe who ruled for up to the 509, like that 509 BC. Okay, so where they established a monarchical form of government and ruled over early Romans, and they were much cruel that they punished every other tribe in the ancient Rome. Okay, so here there are certain things we go through it. First of all, during the time of the Etruscan, the whole civilization, which is divided into the two divisions. One is the patricians, and next one is the plebeians. Okay, so in the last class we already discussed under the social structure. Okay, so during the Etruscan, there is two divisions of the society you find. One is the patricians, and next one is the plebeians. Okay, so here the patricians who were enjoyed certain privileges in the society, and plebeians were like a common people. Okay, so plebeians were very far away from such a administration or such a rights, civil rights in the society. Okay, so where the whole government, which is run by the Etruscan society only. Okay, so each and every administrator, or every bureaucrat in the ancient Rome, in the monarchical system, the Etruscans filled with the all filled with the Etruscan people only. Okay, so they were to be somewhat cruel, and they given certain severe punishment to the others who oppose or who challenge the Etruscans. Okay, so after the 509 BC, you see the Etruscan rule was overthrown by these Latins, and the Latins started a new administration in the form of the republic. Okay, so the Roman Republic was aristocratic in character, and because only the aristocratic class, called the patricians, enjoyed political, social, and economic privileges. And within this, two magistrate, you will see two magistrates known as the consuls. Okay, so where you are also getting the things on my screen, and where 509 BC over to the last Etruscan king and established a republic, and the leader is not a king. Certain citizens have the right to vote. Okay, it's nothing but a aristocratic government in the form of aristocracy. Okay, so where at the time the enemies are surrounded the Rome, and for the long period certain warfare has taken place, and the Romans had to defend themselves. And in 267 BC, controlled almost all the Italy, Italy in the sense Roman territories. and defeated many Gauls from the Greeks and remaining Etruscan states also. And this during the this Latin's time, some people had full Roman citizenship. Other groups were allies who controlled their local affairs, but gave soldiers to Rome, and Rome could become the Roman citizens. Okay, so and many of the conquered peoples which felt invested in the Rome success, right? So this is certain where the republic, the Roman Republic, which established in the this ancient Roman territories. Okay, so I will give you during the time of this Roman Republic, many things happened. First of all, these patricians, one of the upper strata in the society, enjoyed the political and social economic privileges, and you find two magistrates known as the consuls, chosen every year from the rank of patrician, became the heads of the Roman government, which also from the patricians only. Okay, so and the most important political body was the Senate, which having about 300 patricians. Okay, so in the times of emergency, a dictator was chosen by Senate for a term of 6 months, and after that there is also certain composite culture also taken place in between the patricians and plebeians, and gradually the plebeians got important important concessions. Okay, so where in the earlier times these plebeians were denied the powers, and they were certain away, they are away from the privileges. Okay, so and but they learned a long historic struggle and finally won some major concessions. The major concessions for the plebeians included the right to intermarry with the members of the patrician family, and right to hold public offices like that. And the fusion between the two classes, the patricians and the plebeians, made the Roman Republic truly a democratic in character. Okay, so after this fusion of these two, Etruscan and the patrician and plebeians, where you see certain number of reforms in the Roman Republic. Okay, so and before you see such a rise of dictatorship in the Rome. I will give you certain things regarding the Punic Wars and other things, how this Carthage, which dominated on the Rome. Okay, so Carthage was lying on the northern African coast, just opposite to Sicily, grew an wealthy Phoenician colony, and her powerful fleet dominated over the Mediterranean, and her armies gained control over North Africa, Spain, Sicily, and other parts of this Mediterranean Sea. And the wars between Rome and Carthage, which broke out in two times, is nothing but with nothing but the Punic Wars. Okay, so where the Carthage, which occupied in Messina as a part of North Sicily, and it called as a first Punic War, and mostly fought on the sea, and which is taken place approximately around 264 BC. And in 218 BC, a second Punic War was started when Hannibal, a Carthaginian general, was attacked Saguntum, the east coast of Spain, which is part and parcel of the ancient Rome. Okay, so Hannibal marched towards the Alps from the Spain through France, present territories of the France, and which recorded brilliant victories on the Rome, but didn't occupy Rome, and he stayed there for 13 years. But Italian cities were not cooperated to the Hannibal. Okay, so Hannibal was a Carthage general. Okay, so the Romans appointed Fabius Maximus as a dictator to deal with the Hannibal, and he had a nickname Contactor, and this Plebeius Scipio. Okay, so later won against the Hannibal at various places, and finally Hannibal left the Roman Empire. Okay, so later Romans were destroyed the Carthage in around 146 BC under the leadership of Cato and Macedonian and Greece. Cato, and he also occupied the Macedonian and Greece territories, and those became a part and parcel of ancient Rome. Okay, so in these times, to to defend the Roman in such a emergency times, these Roman Republic started appointing a dictator. Okay, so rise of we'll see rise of dictatorship in the ancient Rome. Okay, so and when these due to the rise of this wealth resulted in growing and conflicts, and sometimes led to the civil wars in the Rome. And these peoples which formed to make the Roman government to favor the poor by passing necessary laws, and some Roman generals became selfish, and thus the Roman Republic lost much of its originality and finally paved way for the dictatorship of Julius Caesar. Okay, so this during that time of Julius Caesar became the first dictator in the history of Roman Empire. Okay, so where when you see this is a structure of Rome's republic. One is a dictator, which the dictator should be elected for 6 months, for the period of 6 months in the during the time of emergencies. Okay, so and he was assisted by the councils. Under the councils, you see a senate. Okay, so and senate is a senate is a senate was comprised of nearly 300 nobles. Okay, so such a structure of the polity you will see in the this ancient Rome. Okay, so as a part of the dictatorship in the ancient Rome, where the Julius Caesar was elected as a first dictator in the history of ancient Rome. Okay, so and along with the Julius Caesar, another two important personalities also shared the dictatorship. One is Pompey, and next one is Crassus. Okay, so mixing with these three, Julius Caesar and Crassus and Pompey, it is better to be called as a triumvirate. We called as the first triumvirate in the history of ancient Rome. Okay, so here Pompey was known for the conquest of Syria. Julius Caesar conquered Gaul and Britain, and conquered Gaul, which is present territories of the France and Belgium and the Britain. And Crassus died fighting with the Parthians. Okay, so among the first triumvirate, Crassus was died, and another two remained. One is the Julius Caesar and Pompey. Okay, so later Julius Caesar killed Pompey, and he became the dictator. Okay, so Caesar showed respect to the republican traditions, and form of the government he guaranteed, and and he inaugurated his rule in the rule with the serious reforms also. Okay, so I will give you what are the reforms this Julius Caesar, which started in the early Roman Empire. Okay, so here You are watching on the screen the about the Senate, which is Senate was a lawmaking body, and where the upper class you representative from the partitions only you'll see, and within this 300 representative you'll see within it. Okay, so and there is another the Centuriate Assembly, most important people's assembly, which is better to be called, and elected councils within it, and it can pass the various laws also. Okay, so which is organized by various classes based on the wealth, and wealthiest citizens were you will see in the majority. Okay, so plebeians were the common people, and many rich class were which is you they see in the patrician group. Okay, so and the plebeians only the common people. Okay, so apart from the slaves, you will see in the plebeians. Okay, so and after this, this is the Roman political structure you are watching on the screen. The slaves were the
సార్
very
రావట్లేదు సార్.
ఏం రావట్లేదు.
మా స్క్రీన్ మీద మీరు చెప్పేది ఏం రావట్లేదు సార్. ఇంతకు ముందుదే ఉంది.
చేంజ్ అవుతుంది చూడండి. ఇంతకుముందు ఏడున్నది, ఇంతకుముందు స్లేవ్స్ అనేటటువంటి లేదు కదా లాస్ట్ స్ట్రక్చర్ లో.
అదిగా సార్ ఇప్పుడు ఎట్రిస్కాన్ రూల్ అనే ఉంది సార్. అదే ఉంది ఫస్ట్ నుంచి.
ఏమున్నది?
ఎట్రిస్కాన్ రూల్.
ఎట్రిస్కాన్ రూల్ ఎందుకు చేంజ్ కావట్లేదా?
కాలేదు సార్, ఫస్ట్ నుంచి అదే ఉంది సార్.
ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఇప్పుడు కనిపిస్తుందా? చేంజ్ అవుతుందా?
ఇంకా రాలేదు సార్.
ఇప్పుడు కనిపిస్తుందా?
ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది సార్. ద రోమన్ రిపబ్లిక్.
Yes, right. Okay. So within the Roman Republic, where first we see certain things regarding these. First of all, the Etruscan rule we see, and after that, which is the Roman Republic, which started, and after formation of Roman Republic, this Rome was seriously defended their territories. And they defended their territories from the attacks of the Carthage. Okay, so Hannibal was the general of the Carthage who occupied these, and later, which was later without cooperation of the cities of Rome, this Hannibal left. Okay, so then there is a dictatorship has started in the history of ancient Rome, and within the Fabius was the first first dictator in the history of ancient Rome, and next was the Julius Caesar, and Julius Caesar along with the other two important generals like the Pompey and Crassus, which is started a system called the triumvirate. Okay, so within the triumvirate, first of all, the Pompey was died, and first of all, Crassus was died, and next Julius Caesar, which killed this Pompey, and the Julius Caesar became the dictator, and this Caesar, which showed much respect to the this republic traditions, and he started such reforms in the history of ancient Rome. Okay. So first of all, we'll see who are the leaders of the Roman Republic, and the Roman republics had the number of leaders and groups that helped to govern and elected officials were called the magistrates, and there were different levels and titles of magistrates, and the Roman government was very duplicated and had lots of leaders and councils. And here are some of the titles. You see, one is the consul. At the top of the Roman Republic was the consul was very powerful position. In order to keep the consul from becoming a king or dictator, there was always two consuls selected and they will serve for 1 year. Also, the consuls could veto each other if they didn't agree on something. And the consuls had a wide range of powers. They decided when to go to war and how much taxes to collect and what the laws were. And next one is the senators. The senate was a group of prestigious leaders who advised the councils, and the councils usually did what the senate recommended. And senators were selected for life. And the next one is the plebeian council. The plebeian council, also called the People's Assembly, and this was how the common people, plebeians, could elect their own leaders, magistrates, pass laws, and hold court. And tribunes were the representative of the plebeians council. They could veto laws made by the senate. And the governors, as Rome conquered new lands, and they needed someone to be the local ruler, and the senate would appoint a governor to rule the land or province. The governor would be in the charge of the local Roman army, and would also be responsible to collect taxes. And governors also called the proconsuls. Okay, so next one is the edile. An edile was a city official who was responsible for the maintenance of public buildings as well as the public festivals. Many politicians who wanted to be elected to higher office, like consul, would become the edile, so they could hold big public festivals and gain popularity with the people. And next one is the censor. The censor counted the citizens and kept track the census, and they also had some responsibilities to maintain public morality and took after the public finances. And the constitution republic did not have a precise written constitution, and constitution was more of a set of guidelines and principles that were passed down from the generation to generation. It provided for separate branches of government and balance of power. Okay, so here the within the republic we will see such a all people treated equally, and no people were treated differently based on their wealth, gender, and citizenship. And women did not get the right to vote or hold office. Also, if you had more money, you got more voting power, and consuls, senators, and the governors only become from the rich aristocracy. And this may sound unfair, but it was a big change from other civilizations where the average persons had no say at all. In the Rome, the regular people could band together and have considerable power through the assembly and their tribunes. Okay, so such things you find in the ancient Rome, and we'll see the Julius Caesar and uh, his important reforms in the history of ancient Rome. Okay, first of all, I will give you the Julius Caesar's these reforms. First of all, okay. So I am not going to give you his individual identity and his childhood and his greatness, and I will start. I will give you certain important reforms what he followed in the history of Roman Republic. Okay, so he improved agriculture and reduction in the taxes, and he removed corrupt and oppressive governors, granted citizenship to Sicily and Gaul people also. Okay, so and and distribution of public lands and public works and improve coinage system and introduce of Julian calendar during his time only. Okay, uh, such important reforms you will see within the Julius Caesar period. Okay, so in March 44 BC, his enemy Brutus, which assassinated Caesar, and this incident plunged Rome into civil war. Okay, so and after the Julius Caesar, Octavian, a grandnephew of Julius Caesar, and Mark Antony joined to crush those who murdered Caesar. And they joined with the another man, Lepidus, a great politician of Rome, to form a second triumvirate. Okay, so they defeated Brutus in the Battle of Philippi in 42 BC. Then the Rome Empire divided into the three parts: eastern provinces, and including Egypt under Mark Antony, western province by Octavian, okay, Sicily under Lepidus. Okay, so such after assassination of this Julius Caesar, the second triumvirate has formed with the three men, Octavian and Mark Antony and Brutus. Okay, so sorry, Lepidus, right? So and with these group of three people we call as the second triumvirate in the history of ancient Rome. Okay, so then the Roman Empire, which divided into the three parts: eastern province, including Egypt under Mark Antony, western province by Octavian, and Sicily under Lepidus. Okay, so due to this triumvirate, this whole Roman territory, which divided into these three provinces. Okay, so Mark Antony fell madly in love with Egyptian queen Cleopatra and neglected the state affairs. Okay, so Octavian asked the Senate to depose Mark Antony, and he was defeated in the hands of Senate army in the Battle of Octavian. Okay, so then after the Mark Antony, Cleopatra both committed suicide, and later Egypt comes under the Rome. Then Octavian defeated Lepidus and ruled Roman Empire under the title Augustus. Okay, so these are the things about this Roman Empire, and there are many other rulers to be discussed. One is the golden age of Augustus, and Augustus who ruled this Roman Empire with a care and on based of this social welfare. He was very able ruler to reform such a things in the history of ancient Rome, and his rule to be called as the golden age in the history of ancient Rome. And after him, many other rulers you will see, like Caligula, Nero, like that. Okay, we'll see those things in the later classes. I will see in the next classes. Okay, so this is end of my class today, and these are some things regarding the Roman Republic and monarchical form and such things regarding the Roman Empire. Okay, so in the as a part of political structure and as a part of political conditions in ancient Rome, we'll see the remaining things in the next class, and we also see about this administrative setup which followed in the ancient Rome. Okay, so students, are you hearing?
Yes, sir.
స్టూడెంట్స్ వినిపిస్తుందా?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So I am ending my class now, and I will meet you tomorrow.